King's Court Network presents Politics of Life. We bring in you Racism Amongst the
Racism
Stars
amongst the
as we talk
stars.
about the show The Acolytes.
Haters of
the
hashtag
that
cancel
recently
culture
got
get show
canceled. Make sure
canceled
y'all
cause of
like,
diversity.
subscribe, and share the link to the
The
video.
Acolyte is an American science fiction television series created by Leslie Headland Disney+. It is part of the Star Wars franchise, set at the end of the High Republic era before the events of the Skywalker saga, and follows a Jedi investigation into a series of Amandla Stenberg, Lee Young-jae, Charlie Barnett, Daphne Keane, Rebecca Henderson, Jodie Turner-Smith, Carrie Ann Moss, Manny Jacinto, Dean Charles Chapman, Junice Suetamo, Margarita Laviva, Lauren Brady, Leah Brady, Harry Trevaldwin, and David Harewoodster in the series. Real-lifelong Star Wars fans should truly be ashamed to be associated with the fanbase that seems to continue to have a repeated pattern of racism, sexism, misogyny, and homophonic gatekeeping of this universe. There's a segment of our fellow fans who are very vocal about getting offended and their panties in a bunch anytime the story doesn't have enough straight white male center. I know that many will jump up to give the regular scripted platitudes and propaganda bathed in denial and dismissal. Stop playing the race card. Why do you have a victim mentality? Bringing up race, you're the real racist. And of course the most nonsensical one. Get rid of racism, stop talking about race. They were beginning to receive the hate from people months before they had ever released a trailer, and it was just a concept and some castings. So if you're hating based only on having the diversity, that's very telling. If you go through some of the complaints made by people to defend the hate, you realize that they don't hold water after testing. People want to say the acting is bad, and comparing this to previous Star Wars shows, I ask how. The star is playing twin sisters of very opposing personalities that you can distinguish from just her demeanor, and if you look at listing of the cast, bad acting is just not acceptable assessment. People seemed to have multiple issues with the coven of force-wielding witches and the fact they were lesbian, also how they used that force power with the twins. However, there are multiple different connections and a variety of communities and logical. Plus, let's remember this is not an isolated incident. There is a long-standing tradition of racial backlash against any minority characters pushed to high in the cast. From the prequels, The Last Jedi and Obi-Wan, the continued pattern of the practice cannot be denied or ignored that a movie, A Galaxy Far, Far Away with multiple alien species, people have issues with minorities. And for a great example of this bigoted mindset, let's see the old Dino failure and friends throwing rocks while hiding his hands.
Actress blames bigotry for cancellation. Tyrus, I loved it. It was canceled after one season because it was the prejudices or bigotry against the show's diverse cast. And she said it was harassment from alt-right hyper-conservatives. She making excuses?
No. Here's how bad you are. That you get the name Star Wars on you and you failed.
Yeah.
The show, take it from minority. Star Wars was already one of the most diverse shows in the movies in the 70s. They had everybody on there. So they would, and they continued, and in the new ones, they made women powerful, and they had Jedi. They've gone out of their way, and then they lowered it up, and they threw it up in the lot for you, and you ruined it. Here's the problem. Your woke writing sucks, and if the fans don't watch it, maybe there is alt-right conservatives, but they don't know because nobody watched it.
You know what's funny?
That's the problem. I would love to say it sucked, and I have no idea because I looked at it and went, I don't want to watch this.
That is like, you're right.
What is woke writing? What are some examples of this woke scripting? So, to verify how not of a bigot he is, he saw the diverse casting of characters, and based on that, he assumes it as woke because if you don't have enough white men, it equals woke. He didn't bother watching and making educated assessment. He's seen the cast and based on that, and I quote, he don't want to see the shit. There's a clear issue with a segment of this audience that can't be denied and shouldn't be accepted. If you disagree with my point of view, please explain how, but don't bother come with the same catchphrase denials and come with reason, logic, and explanations for these examples in the comments.